Time to talk about dark, smoky, mysterious fragrances. Hi everyone, I'm Julian. I always love fragrances, and this is my channel Scented Moments, where we discuss everything about fragrances since 2018. So as we are already in the cold weather and Halloween is approaching, I think it's the best time to talk about dark, smoky, mysterious, resinous fragrances that perfectly fit this season and will definitely leave a lasting impression. So the first fragrance, and this is in no specific order, 12 in total that we will be discussing today. And the first one being from the house of Les Abstraits, and it is Desandre. Desandre is a fantastic, smoky, dark but yet green fragrance. It's a very, very complex perfume, and I absolutely love it because of that. So Desandre starts off very smoky, very bold and daring, with lots of birch tar, very intense, and right away you start to feel a bit of a tuberose. It's very heavy in the tuberose actually. That gives some light into this perfume, but also gives robustness. So you have this tuberose, very carnal, with this birch tar, so very smoky, incensey, floral, and then starts to develop into a very leathery, green fragrance. All of this perfume is a wonderful experience on death and rebirth. Absolutely love this one. Beautiful bottle. This is a magnetic cap, as you see, very, very heavy, steadily. So amazing scent right here. Desandre, this was nominated by the Art and Olfaction Awards this year in Lisbon, which I attended. Unfortunately, didn't win the prize, but nonetheless, it's a fantastic fragrance that you really need to get your nose on. Desandre by Les Abstraits. The next fragrance from the house of Ramon Monegal from the Don't Touch My Oud collection, Oud on Fire. Very underrated, I think, and actually even in this channel, although I love it, I'm not talking about it as much, but I will definitely do so from now on because it's starting to get cold outside. And this one, it's so smoky, it's so intense, so dark and resinous. So of course, like the name implies, this is oud and smoke all over. You have a bit of a patchouli, you have a bit of cinnamon spices on top with some black pepper also, but in the end this is a very smoky, dark, like charcoal almost oud. Amazing. I absolutely love this one, and also ambery, quite ambery as well in the dry down. Love it. Absolutely love this one. It's challenging, but it leaves a wonderful impression because it's unique and it's mysterious and it's very long lasting. Oud on Fire by Ramon Monegal. The next fragrance from the house of Ramon, Tea Habanero. One of the most daring tobacco fragrances that I ever experienced. This is not sweet at all. It's not your typical sweet, spicy tobacco fragrance. No, this is daring. It's slightly animalic even. This is spicy, so you have pepper and some cardamom with this black tobacco accord with oud, frankincense, myrrh, and leather. So it's a very heavy, dense, thick fragrance with this smoky incensey, and it has like a dryness into it as well, maybe because of the spices. Nothing is sweet in this fragrance, just resins and smoke, and again a bit of an animalic nuance in here, maybe because of the oud. Love this one. Very unique in my opinion. Highly advise to check his fragrance out and the entire Ramon fragrances, because I think they are very underrated, and in terms of price it's amazing, especially considering nowadays market price for fragrances. I think they are very well priced. This is a 50 ml. 50 ml goes for 150 euros. Still not cheap, but comparing with the other fragrance brands out there and the quality that you get from these perfumes from Ramon, I think it's a great bang for your buck. So, and you can also get the 100 ml. Of course, it will be close to 200 euros, but I think again it's a great value price considering the quality. Tea Habanero by Hanya J. Check these fragrances out, especially if you're searching for a different, more daring and unique type of tobacco fragrance. The next fragrance from the house of Frederic Malle, Promise. In this fragrance, it's a bomb in terms of performance, in terms of smell. Promise, regarded by many, has the best fragrance from the Desert Gems collection. Definitely the most affordable out of that entire collection. So Promise has a big dose of green apple, probably the best green apple core that I ever smelled. It's realistic and it fits within this scent character. With this fragrance has lots of cypriol oil, and cypriol gives this very smoky, earthy, woodsy quality to a perfume. And this fragrance has also tons of patchouli in here, very earthy. It has some resins, it has a resinous nuance in here as well. It's very thick and heavy fragrance, smoky with some sweetness because of the green apple, a bit spicy. It's wonderful, and it's the only fragrance out of the Desert Gems that doesn't have oud in here, but the cypriol oil with the patchouli really gives like an woodsy impression, although it doesn't have real oud listed. Nonetheless, it's a wonderful, wonderful fragrance, very unique in my opinion. Great performance overall. Absolutely love this one. It's Promise by Frederic Malle. The next fragrance, probably the most gothic fragrance of this list, from the house of Amouage, and it's Memoir Woman. I mean, from the look of the bottle, clearly dark and gothic like. Memoir Woman is it's a heavy incense fragrance, very woodsy and a bit mossy. So this starts off with a blast of absinthe and tons of spices with cardamom, pepper, cloves, and it's quite challenging with incense right away, and then develops into a woodsy jasmine fragrance and some animalic undertones in the dry down, and white resonance with styrax and labdanum. So this fragrance is very complex, it's unique, it's challenging, it's not for everyone, but definitely gives like a gothic, dark, enchanted forest vibe into it. Absolutely love this one, and I dare to say that this is even more masculine than the men's counterpart, Memoir Man, but also by Amouage, which I have absolutely love. But I feel that fragrance, it's more versatile than this one, but makes this one more special. Absolutely love Memoir Woman, highly underrated in my opinion, and advise you to check this one out. Again, Memoir Woman by Amouage. The next fragrance from the house of Papillon Artisan Perfumes, Anubis. I love this one. I've been talking about this one a lot in my previous videos. I absolutely love this one. This fragrance, it's so special and so unique. And this kind of made me realize that there are so many special and different fragrances out there within indie perfumery, not just with Andy Tower, which was my first approach to more indie type of perfumery, and then Anubis by Papillon Artisan Perfumes from UK. They are based in UK, created, and all the fragrances are created by Lise Moore, she's the founder of the brand. So Anubis, this is a very heavy, smoky, dark suede type of fragrance with tons of immortelle and labdanum and a bit of jasmine. This fragrance smells like ancient, like the name implies, like gives like an ancient Egypt type of vibe into it. Definitely get that. It feels like dusty, ancient, mysterious. It's so good. Smoky, a bit sweet, has an underlying sweetness maybe because of the labdanum with the immortelle. It's beautiful. I absolutely love this one. It has also like a burned feeling to it. Very beautiful, but not for everyone. Great performance, mysterious nonetheless, and I highly suggest you to check not just Anubis, but the entire house of Papillon Artisan Perfumes. The next fragrance from the house of Tom Ford, and actually here If I would have a full bottle of black lacquer, I would definitely mention it because it's very dark, smoky, resinous. I mean, definitely the best fragrance from Tom Ford in the recent years. But well, this is just my special honorable mention, we can say. But the fragrance that I have here from Tom Ford, also from the private blend, it is Tobacco Oud, which is a masterpiece in my opinion. Tobacco Oud, like the name implies, has tobacco in oud, but it also has like a boozy whiskey feel in the opening. And this fragrance kind of resembles to, or at least it's like a deviation of Amber Absolute, also by Tom Ford, discontinued, then they just bring it back as a limited run. But Tobacco Oud has like an Amber Absolute vibe into it, but not as resinous as Amber Absolute. This is more dry and more smoky and more animalic, I dare to say. This definitely has like a furry, musky, animalic undertones with tobacco, and I don't know if this has real oud, but definitely gives like a dark woodsy feel in here. Very, very gentlemanly, very mysterious and dark. Absolutely love this one. One of the very best Tom Ford fragrances that you have to check out. At least try it, sample it, because I think it's really worth the experience. It's Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford. The next fragrance from house of Francesca Bianchi, Dark Side. Absolutely love this one, and this comes in the first original bottle from Francesca Bianchi, as you can see from the cap. It's like this dark matte finish, and the new ones are different, and you have here like the initials of Francesca Bianchi, so those are the newer bottles. So this one, Dark Side, and it was one of my first fragrances that I tried from the brand, and the reason why I love Francesca Bianchi. So the Dark Side, it has tons of incense, very incensey, animalic, with castoreum. You have then styrax, labdanum, but the difference is that here you can detect the Francesca Bianchi DNA, which is buttery orris and this animalic sweet undertones that you can see through all of her fragrances, and I highly advise to check this one out. This, in the end, it's smoky, it's spicy, it's dark, it's ambery, and it's amazing. I mean, the Dark Side really says everything. It's really a dark type of perfume, and it's one of the best from her brand, in my opinion. Dark Side by Francesca Bianchi. The next fragrance, this is from house of Naomi Goodsir Bois. A smoky, woodsy fragrance with some dark edge into it. This is like almost like a burnt forest, but not as intense as the one that I will mention later on, which actually I don't have the full bottle here, but still I will talk about that fragrance. So this one, it's smoky, very smoky, woodsy with some cedar wood, oak moss, so it's mossy, it's woodsy, it's also a bit spicy. It has definitely like some pepper, some cinnamon in here as well, but in the end this has this like almost birch tar feel, like again smoky, woodsy, like something like burned, and it's amazing with some tobacco. It's challenging, I would say. It's not for everyone, but again, if you are into these type of fragrances, like for example Parfums Roma's Arso, Fianangui by Serge Luton, and there's another fragrance that I'll mention from Profumum Roma here, so that's the one that I will talk about later on. So if you like these type of more daring, smoky, dry, woodsy fragrances, this is a great alternative. I love this one. Actually, I love the entire line of Naomi Goodsir. Very underrated. Another brand that is very slept on. They don't release fragrances every year like the majority of the brands currently. They really think about their perfumes and how to make them. And all of them are high quality in my opinion. So yes, Bois d'Assis, amazing fragrance. Smoky, dark, mysterious, woodsy with some tobacco. They say that this has also like a boozy touch in the opening, but I don't really get that. For me, it's more tobacco, smoke, woods, and some moss. It's amazing. Absolutely love this one. It's Bois d'Assis by Naomi Goodsir. The next fragrance from the house of Andy Tower, Lonestar Memories. I love this one. I already talked about this fragrance previously. One of the best from any tower, Lonestar Memories. It's basically like a smoky dark leather fragrance, and it has like a almost like a burned hay feeling to it. So it has some green undertones with clary sage, some mossiness as well, a bit spicy, but in the end it's a smoky, dry, leathery fragrance with some resinous nuance like myrrh, with some labdanum as well in here. It's wonderful. Absolutely love this one. Very, very unique take on a leather fragrance. Really good. Again, one of the best from any tower. It falls a bit in the shadows of L'Air de Désert Marocain and Au Coeur du Désert, but I think this is also one of his all-star, let's say, type of fragrances. Love it. Lonestar Memories, a dark, smoky, bit mossy, green leather that you really need to check out. The next fragrance from the house of Meo Fusciuni, Odor 93. Odor 93, it's a bomb of a fragrance. It's all about tuberose, like a bold, thick, carnal tuberose with tons of smokes, incense mainly, some spices and tobacco. And this fragrance is something. It's not for the faint of heart. This actually, Odor 93 and Fougère Emeraude by Les Indémodables were the two fragrances that made me appreciate tuberose. For me, the picture of this fragrance is, imagine that you are in a dark room with smoke. You smell just smoke, like incense and something burning, and at the end of the room you can see some light, and as you approach you see that the light is tuberose. So that's how this fragrance smells like. That's the image that this fragrance transmits. So mysterious, so daring, and it's really a statement maker. I love this one. Parfum concentration, the performance is actually stunning. Like the majority of all Meo Fusciuni fragrances, all of them are parfum concentrations, and they actually last a very long time. And his fragrances are very artsy, unique, and it's really a great experience. Highly advised to check this house out in the end. Meo Fusciuni, amazing house, especially Odor 93 if you want a dark, smoky, bold type of fragrance. And the last fragrance that I need to mention, although I don't have the full bottle with me here, it's still in Lisbon. It's from Profumum Roma, and it is the most daring fragrance, one of the most daring, if not the most daring fragrance that I have in my entire collection. It is Fumidus. And Fumidus is this smoky, it literally smells like a burning forest, literally. And that's it. Charcoal, burning forests, that's it. That's all I get from that fragrance, with some boozy undertones. I think it has some whiskey in there, so it has a booziness, but in the end it's all about this burn woods, burn moss, I mean everything burning basically, and it's very dark, very heavy. And it's really not for the faint of heart, but definitely I needed to mention this fragrance because, I mean, for me, it's the reference in terms of dark, smoky fragrances. Oh, it's Fumidus. Performance is there, all the qualities are there. So, I mean, yeah, it's a fantastic scent, but again, not for the faint of heart. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what are some of your suggestions in terms of dark smoky fragrances. If you find value in this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and watch all my other content that I have available, and see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Ciao.